Hi guys, welcome to the channel of love. That's interesting. So at the moment I currently have a pop-up message. It says no. Managing moderators can support your channel in even more ways. Introducing managing moderators. These users have the same capabilities as standard moderators, but in addition they can manage blocked words and change chat modes in live. Close or learn more? We'll close now. We're all good. Hi guys, welcome to the channel of love. Interesting. Okay, I've chosen the cards. We've got a few. We've got the hair. It's not misbehaving. It wants to be like free today, because today I had it tied up but it just kept falling down. So then I just put it into a plait. And it's still wanting to escape. You can run, you can hide, but you can't escape, my love. Okay, so good afternoon. It's just gone 5:30, 17:32. We are starting with the Fairy Tarot, which is interesting, and it doesn't surprise me that that the Fairy Tarot have come out, because I've been talking about the fairies today. Somebody started the conversation, and then we had a chat about the fairies and how the fairies were viewed. Hello, Mr. Spider. There's a spider crawling up the wall. Oh, as I said that, he kind of spun round, but he's going back up now. Someone's thinking. I felt the energy of like, not, I wouldn't say like chewing your thumb come through, but I felt the energy of like sucking your thumb, like a comforter. But then what come through was, I bite thy tongue at you. A bit of Romeo and Juliet coming through. The Montagues and the Capulets. I bite thy thumb at you. Seriously? Okay. Maybe I do need to put my glasses on. Raking it in. Oh. I feel like someone could be raking in like bad karma. Hello guys. Hello guys. Welcome to the channel of love. Is that a British accent I hear? It is. Hi Ryan. Why are you just standing? Why are you just standing? Why am I just standing? I don't really know what you're talking about. Quinn? Hi, how are you doing? Oh, Foglord? We just answered that one. Hi, you are a beautiful woman. I like you. Thank you. Hello from Australia. Hi Quaker. Guys, this is a collective reading, so I am going to be focusing on channeling through messages. If you find that you resonate with the story that's coming through, happy days. If it's not your cup of tea, then I'm sure that there's other options out there for you. But cheers. Cheers to the channel of lovers. It's pumpkin season. Does it really matter where I'm from, Jim? My accent's not from where I'm residing now, so it doesn't really matter, does it? But, have patience and don't worry. Take time to rest and plan your next steps, a prudent investment of time or money. The Seven of Autumns, the Seven of Pentacles, because I felt the energy like someone wanting to be soothed, but it's like they're playing the blame game. So it's like, this is your fault, I'm receiving all this bad luck. It's like, instead of pointing the finger, you might as well point it back at yourself. Okay? I had a gentleman point his, well, he didn't point his finger at me. He was from Bulgaria, and he wanted to buy a shirt that he had seen in the window. I said, what shirt would you like to buy? And he went to me like this. And I just stood there, and actually I was in the process of finishing plaiting my hair because, like I said, if it was tied up, it was just like hanging down. You just want to be out. So I'm tying my hair up, and I'm watching this gentleman, like, he's maybe about 8 metres away from me, doing this to me. And in my mind, I wondered actually if you can pick up on my thoughts. And I meant that as a collective. But my thoughts were, as he just kind of like summoned me with his finger. And so I just casually walk over. And when I get to him, he said to me, was that rude of me? And I said, yes, a little. I said, I wondered why you were doing that to me. And it's like, so it's like a silent kind of energy was. Am I a witch? What's your definition of a witch? I'm intuitive. I trust my internal guidance system. I trust the messages that come through, which you all should do as well. As I'm taking it that maybe some societal beliefs have led you down that, I don't know, darkness. It's not me that's leading you down the darkness. I'll lead you to the light, to love. It's called the channel of love. Listen to the messages. I'm going to talk to your soul. Silly billies. All is forgiven. It always is. There's nothing to forgive. You're just not aware. You're under the influence of, the rest of them. The cult. The cult that you think that us that follow our own path, our own guidance are in. You need to have a look. Who's actually in a cult of black, dark, manipulative magic? Point that finger back at yourself. Anyway, cheers and welcome to the channel of love. Like I said, if it's not your cup of tea, toodaloo then. You'll find what you're looking for out there if you're looking for hate, anger, aggression, judgment. So I bite thy thumb at you, meaning you're being disrespectful at someone. It's like giving them the middle finger. Okay. Just in Shakespearean terms. But it's like, oh, you're just angry. You're just angry at yourself. A lot of that going around at the moment. People who are frustrated and kind of pissed off with letting themselves down. It's just projected, and let's blame somebody else. Because surely it couldn't be your own fault, could it now? So let's have a little think. Have you been thinking since pumpkin season? October. Then pumpkins are going to go rotten. It feels like rotten thoughts. Stinky thinking. So have patience and don't worry, because if you get frustrated and you start panicking, you're going to attract more things to get frustrated about and to worry about. That's the nature of the game. A prudent investment of time or money. I feel here, when you've invested a lot into something, you're going to have a chat with, like, your pride. I felt that being, like, a group of people. Your own pride. There's a conversation that needs to be had. For a few days now, what's been coming through is, and it was clarified twice today because I heard it once on the radio, so nothing to even do with, like, spiritual talk or, the phrase could be used anywhere. In any situation, lots of situations, but It's like, when are we going to talk about the elephant in the room? Okay, let's get another card from here. Mimi, you should start giving yourself some advice rather than advising me. If I have a nice voice that's soothing, I don't have to put a label to it. It's what I'm made up of. You can't barely hear a word? Maybe it's not. Maybe you're not meant to. Maybe it's time you know, tune out. If you're not willing to tune in. Renewal. Judgment card. We're having a relook over the terms and conditions. What did you sign yourself up for? It says review the past and the present so you can plan a bright new future. How's it going for you? How's life going for you? Can you guys hear me, alright? I can't see any reason why you can't hear me. I had a reading not long ago that cut out halfway through. Anyone like to answer me? Just a simple question. Can you? Well, just in case you can't. Oh, you'll answer my question. You can hear me then. Thanks, the glitch. What is it? Can you hear me? Like, can you hear sound, audio? Thank you, the glitch. Hi, Bella. Hello, darling. How are you today? Not relevant, Ted. Really, is it? It's not relevant. Okay, I'm going to crack on with this reading. Hello, darling. Bella, it looks like really you're kind of like the only tribe member at the moment amongst all this chat. So, is there a way I can actually turn this chat off? Should I do that, or should we just listen to the message? Gal Gal, hey darling. We're calling the tribe now, and they're helped to take care of all your chat. Okay. Coming through loud and clear. Keep it up, love. Thank you, darling. Okay, right. So, Gal Gal's in the house. Bella's in the house. Understanding your life purpose and releasing judgments of yourself and others. I'm not going to recap that part, just because the energy really went all funny. Okay, so we've got have patience and don't worry. Take time to rest and plan your next steps, a prudent investment of time or money. Review the past and the present so you can plan a bright new future, understanding your life purpose, releasing judgments of yourself and others. This has been, wow, first of all I was going to say a 20-month process. It's been 27 months in the making. The fairies are present, so although they are mischievous and can be viewed as mischief makers, the lesson here is like, don't fuck with the fairies then. They mean no harm. They can be viewed as being a bit tricksters. Takes one to know one. Seven of Swords was coming through my mind. A deceitful, sneaky energy. So, because my conversation today has been about the actually goblins and trolls and fairies. I mean, there's pixies here and gnomes with this masculine. And it's, look, I don't know what agreement he's signing, but what will happen is that fairy will take it. That's what I feel. And she'll take it to like the queen of the sylphs, the sylph fairy. Very interesting. He's grown up, but it's taken 27 months. 2.25 years. Where does that take us back to? 2.25 years. What are we in now? 2024. So we're in 2022, but then we're going back 3 months. Is that right? Where are we? February, March time, 2022. Not sure what that's all about. The next deck of cards. So in a way, they're wanting me to know that this has taken a while to think about. This was the first deck of cards I got, and that was in, when did I get this? 2018, if we're doing dates. Hey everybody, how are you all doing today? I hope you're doing well. Take back your power. It's taking you that long to take, well, yeah. Have you done a good job of it? Take back your power, Archangel Raziel. Use your God-given power and intention to manifest blessings in your life. We've been discussing this about you gave your power away. You've got to take it back. It's not going to be pleasant. Take back your power. I've got chills all of a sudden. And the train, beep beep. Renewal. Having a look here. You are a luminary, a sage, a wise one, a high priestess, high priest, a wizard, and a supreme manifester. Now is the time to summon up your spiritual strength and power and put your authority into action. Lovingly and firmly transform your intentions into reality. Say prayers about your intentions and ask for guidance and signs to shape your manifestations to the highest possible level. Working with Archangel Raziel. Archangel Raziel's name means secrets of God. And this archangel will help you understand esoteric spiritual ideas and apply them in practical ways. Call upon Raziel to assist your alchemical work to turn ideas into goals. Look at all these ideas here. It feels like little pumpkins, but it's like you keep missing the season. The season to be jolly. All these ideas you have and you're just sitting on them all. Okay. Unless that's your bucket list. Started adding to your bucket list. It's like, you know, when you get a new lease on life, you get to go again. That's what happens when you go through your spiritual ascension. Okay? When you start to realise, oh, I'm here for a completely different reason than what we think we are. Not just myself, all of us. We're here for a different reason than what we thought we were. We may know now. I think I read all that card. Yes, I did. Secrets of God. Next deck is the Lover's Oracle. They're all lined up. Unprepared. Okay. Now, this is a deck of cards that they say to... the Lover's Oracle can be used alone or together with your partner to develop a better understanding of your relationship. How many partners do you really think, believe, would sit down and actually discuss the meaning of these cards together? I'm betting not many. I would love to. Just go deeper and deeper. And love will die if held too tightly, and love will fly if held too lightly. Well, I don't feel like you grabbed hold of it and wouldn't let it go, but I am having this feeling that if you don't take a hold of it, I've just noticed this bird here sitting on his hand. It's like he's writing a letter and he's going to give it with the bird. Give it with the bird. It's going to send it. A love letter. Love will fly if held too lightly. So it's kind of like, okay. It's Judgment Day. This card's actually called the Last Judgment before you go on to the World card, where that cycle's complete. You get to go afresh, anew, in this fresh sense of being. I was talking to somebody today, and as I'm talking to them, my hands are like this, holding each other. I was very aware I was doing it. I don't really, but it was like, yeah, right there, holding my hand. And it was just so, it was just a real nice closeness. Anyway, the message is, for hearing my thoughts, understanding my dreams, and being my best friend, fulfilling my life. Is this what he's writing down? Hold on, he's like, I've got to send something. Otherwise, you know, it's going to, like, slip away. Fly away, because the feminine here has taken back her power and ascended. This is about the masculine here. And it's like this fairy is wanting an answer. It's time to make that judgment call. For hearing my thoughts, unless, like I say, it's a letter he's writing. Understanding my dreams and being my best friend. Fulfilling my life with joy. And for loving me without end. I do. I do. One more to think over. Two souls, but with a single thought. Two hearts that beat as one. Okay, I just heard the message come through. Someone just said, I know what to do. Okay. In true love, you want what is best for the other person. In romantic love, you only want the other person. You bring out the best in me, is what's coming through. Hey, Christine, darling. You've been busy at work there, honey. Hello, darling. Christine's come in and done what needs to be done. I do want to thank you for that, because since making, you know, you guys moderators, I understand it takes, you've got like a role you can play if you want to. And it's so appreciated, it really is. Thank you. Messages from heaven. We went here yesterday. Are we going back to heaven? I mean, as in, like, we're going back to, you know, speaking with our ancestors in heaven. I mean, from the Archangel Oracle cards, you're being told to take back your power. And yesterday the message was, we rejoice when you find love. Love comes in unexpected ways. Thank you, Christine, darling. I mean, but if there is ever a time you don't wish to, and you feel like I'm relying on you to do that, you just give me a shout. You say, Lucy, can you do the moderating today? And I'm more than happy to do that, darling. Card number 44. We will assist you in helping the important people in your life. Use love. Who are the important people in your life? Because the message from heaven is they are assisting us in helping the important people in our life. Use love. The energy of, obviously, the height of the giraffes took me to ascension, and the song coming through is, you raise me up so I can, I don't know, so you can do what? What's the point in being raised up if you're not going to elevate with that vibration? Elevate yourself. Okay, so 44. We will assist you in helping the important people in your life. Use love. Okie dokie. We'll use love. We use love as our guide. You'll be a wise one to do that. Oh, it's the last card in the book. Part of our path on earth is to help others along life's journey. Some would argue that this is our most important task. So I said about realising why you're here. Okay, it's not the reason why you thought you were living. So part of our path on earth is to help others along life's journey. Some would argue that this is our most important task. Helping others can be as simple as passing on a smile or holding out a balancing hand. Whenever you assist others, hold the intention of love in your heart. Your loved ones continue to send love and support to you in return. Every step you take in assisting others, we applaud you and thank you. We can have another message from here, of course we can. This top one. We're helping to bring a little luck your way, you deserve it. And Christine put a 4-leaf clover. Card number 5. Going through the transition, because remember at the start I felt like I bite thy thumb at you. It's like, don't be mad at me. You could be mad at yourself if you want, because it's going to take that. But don't be mad at me. It's like, no, you bite your thumb at yourself because you're just so... You've got yourself in a pickle. Well, we're helping to bring a little luck your way. You deserve it. Hey, Cynthia. Card number 5. Sometimes we struggle on and nothing seems to go our way. Well, that time has come to an end. Your loved ones are stepping in to help. They are saying, we are here for you. We're helping to make things right. Be ready as we bring good news. Have patience and don't worry. Heat warning, in effect. For the next 48 hours, above 40s has to mean something. The heat is on. The heat is on. Whoa, 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 whoa. Tell me, can you feel it? Tell me, can you feel it? Tell me, can you feel it? The heat is on. Ancient Italian Tarot is the next deck that came out. What's really fun is the bottom of the deck was Lucy's box of tricks. There's lots of cards in there. Okay, oh. For one, I'm holding them around the wrong way. I don't normally hold them so that I'll be able to see the images. That doesn't feel natural. But we can see the unhappiness and the misery. And the thing with this energy, okay, it's when you're not happy. You're not happy, okay? And you wallow in it, and it's like you're suppressing that. It's like you're pretending that everything's okay, and it's all going to be okay. Well, it is all going to be okay, but your situation's going to be shifting. But if you don't deal with this, it leads to deep depression, because you're suppressing, actually, the fact that you're not fulfilled, you're not happy, you're not satisfied, you're not wanting things to continue in the way they've been continuing. Then change it. Say, I'm not happy. I don't want to continue like this. You have every right to be able to say that. It's when you don't admit that to yourself, then you get problems, okay? Because you're lying to yourself, aren't you? Denial, I think they call it. That's interesting. Cynthia, can you see Galgal's words? Very strange. I can't see your words, Cynthia, but I can feel you. Cynthia says, and the winds have been out of the world. And that was, I can't read that word. Punita for Channel 8 News. Ha ha ha. That's a pun, I think, intended. Okay. The heat is definitely on. It's 90 degrees outside. Bella. Luck of my Irish ancestors. Yes. I can see them doing the jiggle. Jiggle? Whatever the dance is. I can hear the music. Okay. Right, let's come back to the present. Well, it is the present, but it's like a spiritual realm. That's nice. It's fun. Cynthia, the oldies I started singing very loudly earlier. What's happening with your space bar, Cynthia? I can tell by the way you walk and talk you don't give a damn. It's alright. It's okay. You can look the other way. Stand alive. Oh. Very interesting. Yes, she's standing beside me, beside my TV to the left. Cynthia. That's Cynthia talking to Gal. I think has something to do with the colour red, blue or yellow and a monarch butterfly. Hi Gal. I was speaking on the phone. The past 2 minutes have been a blur. I won't lie. It's best not to, isn't it? It's best to not lie. We have the Four of Swords, which is that resting energy. It says take time to rest and plan your steps. I feel this masculine, if it's an illness or injury, accident, is not forcefully, unless that's forcefully put upon him to make him convalescent, make him rest, which can be frustrating in itself. If you don't know when to rest, when you're burning yourself out, and you must take that time. And I claim that time all the time. Very peaceful. Walk through the journey, observing it all, taking it all in. I'm stopping to smell the roses as well. I'm seeing all the signs, the attractions. And I'm never late. It's like everything just goes at the natural pace. Slow down. This is nice, the Four of Wands. That would tell me with resting, rejuvenation, you're ready. You know there is that... Okay, that's interesting. I was going to say, you know there is that part when you're feeling better, but sometimes you don't. It's not until you're feeling better that you realise, oh, I'm not feeling like that way anymore. So like, I'm not feeling so sad anymore. Or, let's say, I remember a time I would cry every day. But I could say now, oh, I can't remember when I last had a good grizzle. And I know when one's due, it wants to, whether it's a collective or my own, we have to kind of let that out. We're not to deny our feelings and our emotions. We're here to understand them. Okay, Four of Wands, really nice energy. Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine, finally coming together and doing this. Oh, Bella, I'll see you soon, darling. Have a lovely day. We'll circle back later and listen. Yes, the timestamp is 40:04, if you're still present, Bella. You'll be able to remember that. All the fours coming out. 40:04. Temperance, this is nice. Look, the balance in here. But I really do feel as if the ancestors have had to step in. I'm not sure this masculine was getting it. Not getting, like, the signs. Not seeing the signs, including the red flags. But could see them in others. So you could see when something was a situation that wasn't going to work, but couldn't see them within their own life, within themselves. Because have a look at your outer world, life, and it'll be a reflection of you, your inner world. If your outer life is chaotic and noisy and tense, that's a reflection of you being shown to you. It's not about others having to behave a certain way so that you feel better. You feel better and others will start behaving differently. I mean, you have to put in the work on yourself to see the results. Temperance. Balancing of feminine and masculine energy. Got this energy of coming together. So the fours, definitely relevant. We've got the 4 swords on the floor. We've got the 4 of wands on the table. We've got double 4s here. We've got the time stamp, the sign stamp for Bella, which was 4004. We have card number 14. No, this is YouTube. 74 Nova. It's not Snapchat, it's YouTube. You're on the wrong channel. Divine Feminine really doesn't take much crap. So it's just like... So anything that kind of gets in her way of ascending, it's like... It's not ruthless and brutal in the end. Like, it becomes easy because your outer world will reflect what you're attracting. So what are you doing to attract certain situations, circumstances? I don't like that word there. Spyro. Spyro the dragon. Just look, I'm very, very aware. Like, this is to the point. We've actually got the Law of Attraction cards next, but this is the Queen of Wands. The one who is continuously being clued up, okay? That I realised I've manifested a couple of things because I pointed out their opposite. So I had said about how lovely and you really have to stay away from any thoughts or words regarding what you're not wanting to experience, even if you're using them as a comparison. I can tell you too that I've manifested overnight, and I have profusely, is that the right word? Apologised to Jamie. I said, I'm so sorry, I think I've attracted that. So I was speaking to Jamie about, this was yesterday, about our environment. I said, I absolutely love it. I said, you know, there's no rifts between us, we don't argue, there's no tense energy. And I said, we've never had a problem with any of our animals, they're as healthy as anything. And then, not long after that, there was energy in the house that was out of the norm. And it's like, well, I'm not sure why you're reacting or behaving like that. Nothing like major. I mean, for us, it's subtle things like a sarcastic comment or a comment of being frustrated with you. You're kind of like, there's no reason whatsoever to be feeling that way towards each other. It's a reflection of themselves or a reflection of me bringing it up. So I just removed myself from the conversation that I found myself in, when it was like, okay, I could either, you know, spill out some, well, I could do that. Who do you think you're talking to? You know, but we don't, you know, deal with hate, anger with anger, or fear with fear. And it was like, okay, that's interesting. Seeing as I've just made the comment that this doesn't happen in our environment. And then I get a message at work today about baby Leo, our pussycat kitten, who has had to go to the vets today because he's poorly and he's got a blockage in his intestines. So it was like, I was like, I am so sorry. I only said yesterday how this stuff doesn't happen. So we're getting wiser. Okay, we're getting wiser. Don't even compare it. Like, once you're ascended a bit, it's like, let's be careful with our comparisons. I think people can do their own comparing. That's what the feeling angry at the other person, because you're showing them the opposite of how they could be doing it. And there'll be that, you know, well, it might be easy for you, but it's not easy for me. Oh no, it wasn't easy to regain my power, to claim my freedom. Not easy at all. Worth it? And did I do it alone? Myself and the channel? Because by doing these readings is what's got me through it. You know, I'm taking all this in as well as you. So what are we talking about now? That's it. Did you hear that? Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Let's go to the Law of Attraction cards. The Law of Attraction is always in action. If you have not heard of Abraham Hicks, I'm going to tell you a story. I'm going to tell you another story as well after this, because we are currently reading The Angel Inside, and we're reading a chapter after every collective reading. So I'm not sure when I'm wrapping this up, but when I heard of, I come across Abraham Hicks, what was bizarre is that in my network marketing days, when I was a business development coach, I would mentor a lot of people, and some were really into personal development. So you could have these really in-depth conversations with them because they'd done the work. And there was one gentleman that actually sent me, I think it cost him thousands of pounds, was the audio program for Tony Robbins. So it was like a complete set of like 9 audios, which I thought was really lovely. And also like sent me a memory stick with all these different audios on them, As a Man Thinketh. But I found in a notebook years later, because I've been into network marketing, I was into network marketing, 2011. So we're talking back in the earlier days when I myself was discovering personal development. And why am I talking about him? Because I found some notes from like our mentoring session, okay, from one of our coaching sessions. And at the top of the page says Abraham Hicks. And I'm like, I was given the name years ago. But I discovered Abraham Hicks when my husband was going through his transition. Well, before that, we had kind of stumbled into Abraham when we was looking at, you know, self-healing, more spiritual development. The first video I ever watched was Esther and Jerry Hicks sitting in a chair, having this interview. First thing that caught my attention was Jerry started speaking about, before they met Abraham, he was studying Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And that is one of the books that audios I just re-listened to, okay, during my network marketing days, which were consisted of 6 in the morning and you work till midnight because you can sleep when you die. That was their philosophy. It didn't sit well with me, hence why I moved into being a personal development coach, from a business development coach, and now I feel I'm a spiritual development coach. I'm here to work with your soul, okay? So he spoke about this book and how he was teaching it. He said the one chapter he had trouble teaching was chapter 11 from Think and Grow Rich, which is about sex transmutation. He said that that's like the chapter he struggled with. Anyway, so we've got Jerry, and he met Esther, and they kind of fell in love, okay? And they started reading, I can't remember their name. It's a person that would channel energy through their vessel and bring spiritual messages. Okay, I can't remember, the name slipped. Anyway, they had booked an appointment to go and see this person who would channel spiritual messages, even though Esther, that stuff, she didn't really like that stuff. When Jerry spoke about that stuff, she would like leave the room. She didn't like the kind of voodoo stuff. She was just quite happily content in her life, and Jerry had money, so they were just living a good life. Anyway, apparently the person that they were going to go and see made their transition, and for some reason there was a conversation that started up with somebody who said to them, have you heard about who's coming to town? They do the same work as what so-and-so did. So Jerry booked him, had a half-hour session, let's just say that, half-hour session with this person. And had so many questions to ask. Asked Esther if she wanted a session, and she said no. Went home, next day she said, I want a session. Went back, Jerry used half that session for his questions, and then Esther had like 15 minutes of time. Because Jerry was hungry for information. Okay, so he wanted to know. It's like, okay, what does this mean? And what does that mean? And like having like divine speak to you directly through a vessel. But at the end of Esther's session, the lady who was like taking notes said, is there anything else you would like to ask? And Esther said, no, not really. She said, would you like to ask who your spiritual guide is? Well, Esther hadn't even thought about asking that. So they asked, you know, who is like my spiritual guide? And was told they will announce themselves to you personally. And it was like, how do I open up that channel? And they said meditation. And for about 8 months, Esther meditated and didn't realise her nose was vibrating and spelling out letters. And it said, hello, I'm Abraham, your spiritual guide. And then the next thing, Abraham, through Esther, went to the keyboard. So they were communicating with, like, using the alphabet, spelling out words with the nose. And then next they just had the urge, you know, take me to the typewriter, let me feel for the keys. And then there's books that's written, which I have, which I found out about around about 2016. And I've been to see Esther, because Jerry's made his transition, but I did go on to a workshop on a cruise liner, so I did do that. Just so random. There's just a gentleman who just likes to send me messages randomly. It was just a love heart, love heart, love heart today. He does it when he's kind of like missing. We're just friends. And he's very much younger than me. Not that that matters, but there's no... But he'll just send me messages, I love you. Okay, yeah. Heart, heart, heart. And, anyway. It just popped up. And so, when I first discovered myself, Esther and Jerry, they're in this interview, and then Esther's like, I'll just go and get Abraham now, and started making all these weird kind of sounds, and I actually turned it off. I was like, I don't think I want to watch this. This looks a bit... And the next day I watched it and I was just hooked, fascinated. That was how I discovered Abraham. So please check out Abraham Hicks on YouTube. Annoying. Okay, I'm getting to the law of attraction cards now. That really went off, didn't it? Into one. I attract the essence of my thoughts has just gone to the floor. What are you writing at the end? What does it say? Cynthia, are you working out the codes there? They obviously have a way to bypass it. Words do not teach. My life experience teaches. Words do not teach. It is life experience that brings you your knowing. Reflect into your own past life experience and begin watching for the correlation between the words you are reading here and the life experiences you have lived. Have you been mostly thinking, speaking, writing, and observing that which pleases you or not? I compared it for a while against what doesn't please me. I've learnt, I know better now. Who keeps booting you out? As I am segment intending, I am attracting. The way you feel is your point of attraction. And so the value of segment intending is that you pause many times during your day to say, this is what I want and expect from this segment of my life experience. And as you set forth those powerful thoughts, you will attract into your experience what you want. Get your head around that. Okay, Lucy's box of tricks. And then we're wrapping this reading up, and I'm going to move on to chapter 4 of The Angel Inside. Some Morse code mixed in with some sort of Asian continent's language symbols. I'm not upset, at least. Okay, Lucy, yes. We'll go to the orange cards. Lucy's box of tricks is this. Do you believe in magic? Holy shit, you were warned. It's in reverse, which makes me feel as if like you're still not seeing. It's like, holy shit, you were warned. I feel like you're still being warned. You are music to my ears, not at the moment. A slave to society. I'm actually going to like give you, I don't know what that card is, but a slave to society. So I'm taken now to Napoleon Hill, who I've said I have studied intently, immensely. He's my favourite. I like Abraham Hicks as well. Go to Abraham for any question. I mean, Abraham just has the right answer, makes the right, it just makes sense. Okay. Napoleon, he's just like a true gentleman energy. And there's 2 envelopes they say that you come into this world with. Okay. One is the riches you will experience if you choose to take possession of your own mind and to direct it towards your own desires. The other envelope is the penalties that will be received if you choose to neglect to take possession of your own mind. You neglect yourself, okay? You fail to take possession of your own mind. What the penalties are for that? I was speaking to someone who's been in my life for quite a long time, and I talk about this stuff for hours, and have done for years with them. But it's like they don't get it for themselves. It's kind of like listening to me talk about it. They actually made this comment: I'm going to prove you wrong, and I'm going to study. It's okay. I said, I'll help you along a little bit. I'm going to send you a video, and it's Napoleon Hill, the 2 envelopes. I said, listen to them and let me know what you think, you know. I send the video. I get a response that says, very interesting, although it cut out halfway through. How strange. That's that then. So you just listen to the first part. And for some reason it cut out on the second part, the penalties, and you didn't go away and like research what the second part was yourself. That's not proving to anybody that you're working on yourself. So it's like, slave to society. You're a breath of fresh air. I imagine I might feel quite suffocating at the moment. It's a lot of what you don't want to hear. So many people are worried about their reputation, they forget to work on the character. Who they're carrying around with them. Because that's the only person you're going to be carrying around with you for the rest of your breathing days in this vessel. Idleness is coming through. I haven't got time for people that are idle, lazy when it comes to this life. That doesn't mean I want you working. I want you working on, like, not in a job, no. On you. And if that takes, you pulling yourself out of society for 3 years, so be it. People will not like it. But I felt 27 months you've been working on yourself. You'll start to see the improvements, the changes. It won't be immediate because you've got to clear your karma. But if you stay on the right side of karma, that just means following your heart, doing what you know is right. People always respect people that do the right thing. Okay. Bel Air. When I wrote that, in my mind it was Bell End. A bit of a bell end. A bit of a knob. Just like that person that was knob. It's coming through my head. Oh, once upon a time I used to go onto YouTube channels and like slander them and just put random shit. I mean, what kind of story are you going to be able to tell? When you can tell all aspects, every aspect of your life to another, that's refreshing. When there's no skeletons in the closet. And if there are, let's deal with them. Just like let's deal with the elephant in the room. It's just a nice, freer way of living. Okay. that's it, guys. Oh no, I haven't gone to... Yes, I did go to Lucy's Box of Tricks. Okay, we'll go to a few more. And then I'm going to get on with reading this chapter. Divine Intervention. I felt that from the start. It's the Tower card. Holy shit, you were warned. You're on the wrong path, and you know that what you're doing isn't working for you. And the Divine is trying to shift you. It's like you're kicking and screaming. Please, I just want to live in misery. So you don't. Mrs. Encouragement. Addicted to being perfect. The Awakening of the Student. The Hangman. You're being enlightened. Quitters never win, it's in reverse. I'll just remind you about that. Winners never quit, and quitters never win. Embarrassed and ashamed, but things are moving along swiftly. Now, we're learning. We can absorb more. Absorb? Okay. Attention to detail. Let's go to the book. A very exciting opportunity and a celebration of life. Open up to love. Okay, thank you for joining me for the collective reading. If you are staying for our continuation of the story, The Angel Inside, then that is fantastic. Chapter 4. Let me just... Oh, on to chapter 7. On chapter 4. I don't think it's a long chapter. I won't keep you all too long. Look at this, guys, because I'm loving how every chapter is coming in with the reading. If you don't see that, then attention to detail, and the chapter's called Beauty Through Details. The masters, the ones who succeeded tremendously and set the standard for others, are those who master the details. Very well then, notice something else about David. I want you to walk around the statue as many times as necessary to give thought to this. Michelangelo's David is perhaps the most famous statue in the history of the world. Certainly, the most famous David. Tell me then, with so many Davids, why is it that this statue before you has come to be known as the most beautiful? What gives this David its beauty? Now just walk, look, and let the answer come to you. When it does come to you, you will have learned the fourth lesson of a powerful and beautiful life. Tom was hesitant. Go, the old man implored. Tom began to walk and study the David. He took nearly 10 minutes studying the David from every angle. He would walk and then stop and look for a few minutes, then continue. Finally, he came back to stand next to the old man. Just as he stopped, a security guard came up to the two of them. The guard obviously knew the old man. Another new student today? He asked the old man. Yes, and a very fine one at that. The guard leaned close to Tom. Pay attention. You may not know it now, but this old man has helped more people than you could ever imagine. I have seen him take people one at a time through here for decades. I'm sure he has told you. Today, your life will change forever. It's true, as you will see. Then the guard turned to the old man again. Keep up the good work, set him straight. Then he was off to do more rounds. Goodbye, the old man said, as the guard left. Page number 44. My daughter's in a very laughy mood, isn't she? Goodbye, the old man said as the guard left. Then he turned his attention back to the task at hand. Well, Thomas, to what conclusion have you come after looking Il Gigante over so closely? Tom was staring at the David. I just don't see it. I'm sorry. I'm missing something. He turned to the old man. What is it? The old man smiled. I will not give you the answer so easily, Thomas. Let me ask you this. How realistic do you consider Il Gigante? Well, very realistic. It looks just like a person. Is that it? That is the first part. There are many statues that look real from a distance, but when you get close, you begin to see that the form is just made of marble. It ceases to be very realistic. Now look again, as closely as you can. Look at the statue to see just how closely it resembles the human form in its exactness. Go ahead, he said as he gestured for Tom to circle the statue again. Tom took one more trip around the David. When he had rounded David once again, the old man asked, What is your conclusion now, Thomas? It is very real. Yes? In what ways? Tell me what you see. The toes, the muscles in his legs, the tendons, the veins, his stomach and rib cage. His shoulders and arms look just like a man's. His jaw, his eyes, and his brow, and his hair. They all look real. Yes, Thomas, this is what sets Michelangelo apart from all others. These are the details. The lesson is details? Thomas asked. Not quite. The lesson is that the beauty is in the details. Okay, go on, Tom said. All throughout life there are people who do work of various sorts. Most people do average work. After all, that is why they call it average. Many people do above average work. The masters, the ones who succeed tremendously and set the standard for others, are those who master the details. The thing that makes an otherwise typical statue something that men and women today know in every culture is the emphasis on the details. Il Gigante finds its beauty in the details. How exactly does this apply to me? Tom asked. This applies to everyone, Thomas. No matter what work you do, you must put your hand to it with the goal of absolute excellence, and excellence comes from painstaking attention to the details. In Michelangelo's day, artists were given special opportunities to dissect human cadavers so that they could learn to understand anatomy. It has been jokingly said that as magnificent as Michelangelo was, he must have crucified someone so as to know firsthand the details of what Christ on the cross would truly look like. While this obviously isn't true, it is true that he did indeed spend time mastering the human form through dissection. He would work for hours to see how the body came together and to see how the many parts layered over one another. Then, when he would take the chisel to the marble, he would simply uncover out me. The lesson, Thomas, is that when we are working in areas that we have no passion for, it is natural for us, with no care for our work, to simply put in the time to do whatever will get us by and produce work that is mediocre at best and with no pleasure attached to it. Michelangelo was passionate about his work. He wanted every statue and painting to look as though it might suddenly spring to life, with a few exceptions that you will learn in a moment. Tell me, Thomas, is this true for you? Do you ignore the details of your work? Well, I am working with numbers and financials, so I have to be somewhat exact, but I confess that most of the time I don't do the work that I could do. So no, I do not have the beauty of the details, as you put it. You see that this is all progression, yes? Do you see that once you have the passion and the work you are good at, then you narrow down and are able to create your own lasting masterpiece of a life that is beautiful and powerful. When you get home and begin to work at what you love, not only will you have the passion to master the details, you will for the first time in your life be able to. This will open new worlds to you, worlds you have never experienced before. As Tom stared at the David, he recounted, everyone has an angel inside. Follow your passion, develop your self-confidence, and finally, for now, the beauty is in the details. You are an excellent student, one of the best I have ever had. Thomas remembered the words of the guard. There had been many students before him. He wondered who this old man was and how he could spend his days roaming the city, helping wayward souls. Are you ready for the next lesson, Thomas? The question jolted Tom back to the moment. Yes, of course. Let's go. That's the end of that chapter. Okay, so let's go to the discussion guide. The beauty is in the details. Would you say that you are a detail person by nature? If not, how would you rate your attention to detail? What do you think would happen if you could double your attention to detail in your life? What do you think would happen if you could double your attention to detail in life? How can you see your work life improving if you paid more attention to the details? How can you see your life work improving if you paid more attention to the details? And finally, how can you see your home life improving if you paid more attention to the details? There's the questions at the top there, guys. Stop here. Okay, guys, thank you for joining me today. I will talk to you all soon. The hair just wants to come down, doesn't it? Have a lovely evening. Take care, much love.